From the University of Sheffield, Kicks Creative Media presents CCM TV.
Composition. There are no fixed rules in photography. However, there are some important composition guidelines which can help you to take more compelling photographs and improve the look and feel of your photos and video. When we refer to composition, we mean the way elements are arranged in an image. Perhaps the most well-known compositional rule is the rule of thirds. Divide your picture up into 9 equal parts by drawing 2 evenly spaced imaginary lines horizontally and 2 imaginary lines vertically. If you place your image either along these lines or on the intersections, then the image will appear much more pleasing to the eye. In this particular example, you'll see that I've placed my son's eye line along the lower line here. I've placed his arm along the right-hand line, and the bubble which he's reaching for is placed along the intersection between these 2 lines here. In these further examples, you can see the horizon, where the sea is placed along the upper line in the rule of thirds. And again, with these 2 examples, you can see key elements are placed along the lines. When positioning your main subject in accordance with the rule of thirds, you may be left with a void in the scene on the opposite side of your composition. Try to place a secondary object on the opposite side of your composition to balance the image and fill the frame. So for example, in this picture of a pedestrian crossing, the main object is positioned along the left-hand line in accordance with the rule of thirds, and to balance the element on the right-hand side, you can see there's this individual crossing the road with the other traffic light just above him. Leading lines draw the viewer's eye through the composition. The S-curve, such as in this picture, is widely regarded as the most graceful type of leading line. So if we look at the example of the bridge here, the leading line takes the viewer's eyes through the picture into the scene itself. And in this example, where I'm using an S-curve, your eye naturally follows the path through the composition up to the end of the image where this person is starting to walk along the path where these shops are over here. Staying with this image, we can also look at framing and borders. Natural frames help to isolate your subject from the outside world. Despite the term, natural frames can include man-made objects, such as arches, doorways, and windows. Symmetrical angles often appear more striking and eye-catching, as they often break the rule of thirds. But symmetry usually works best when the subject includes bold, strong lines and textures, such as in architecture. As photography is a two-dimensional medium, creating depth is an important way of making your composition appear more immersive. Depth can be created either through the use of a clear difference between the foreground, middle ground and background, such as in this picture, where as you can see, the temple is in the foreground, the middle ground is occupied by this forest leading into the city, and the background composes of these mountains and the clouds behind. Or alternatively, you can use leading lines and perspective to create depth in your composition, as like with leading lines, it draws the viewer's eye into the composition.